Hey guys, can you really have a breakthrough in 30 minutes? And if so, what does it take and what does it look like? In today's episode, I dive into the topic of breakthroughs and I share three separate stories from clients who recently had their breakthroughs in 30 minutes or less. As I'm sitting there telling my friend this story, her jaw is literally it's starting to drop. And she's sitting there and she's looking at me and she's like, "This is it. This is it. Like how amazing, Britt, you have to share this." So, friends, here I am. I'm going to share the same three stories with you about three different people having three totally different breakthroughs and having them all within a 30-minute coaching call with me. And I am not talking like these have been my clients for years. No, no. I'm talking in like these three different situations with three different people, these three breakthroughs. They all happened on the initial phone call with me, 30 minutes. Okay. But first, as I always do, like I always want to check in with myself, with you. Like, why am I sharing this? What is the intention? How do I hope to add value to your life by offering up this episode? And how do I show just appreciation for your valuable time that you're taking to listen to it? Like I always ask myself, like, what can I give you? And I'd have to say that the intent would be just to remind you that your next breakthrough, it isn't that far away either. And it's absolutely possible when you are in the right company with the right questions and when you finally become so sick and tired of feeling sick that like or so sick and tired from feeling sick and tired or sick and tired of feeling stuck that your moment of clarity it happens in the surrender. My latest breakthrough, it actually happened over the last 2 weeks. And I'll just give you the short version of it that I'd been wrestling with just frustrations and some limiting beliefs, maybe around pieces of my business that I was feeling like I should be doing versus the pieces of my business that I really feel called and I really feel passionate about doing. And I finally had this moment where I had to go back and I had to listen to a prior episode because I was once again trying to think my way through the struggle and the next evolution of growth to get to the other side of it. Again, it wasn't going to be something that I was actually going to be able to think my way through, which is very standard for like my high achieving brain to kind of go back into those type of patterns. So, good news, folks. Although I caught this cold that I'm still definitely wrestling with, I also caught the breakthrough. So the podcast episodes, they absolutely are an incredible tool. I go back to them now. I didn't for the longest time, but I go back to them now and I actually listen to them. And that particular episode absolutely did serve that space I was in. So if you haven't listened to that one yet, it came out on which one that was. Oh, that's like a lucky number thing too. It was like August 8th of 2024. And it's the Think Less, Live More episode. So that was a good one. And that helped me with my breakthrough. So first, though, we'll start with like, what is a breakthrough and why the heck would you want one so badly? So, Webster Dictionary definition, it includes that a breakthrough is an act or an instance of moving through or beyond an obstacle. And why would you want one? Well, for lots of reasons, but I think that we could sum it up to say that breakthroughs are ways that you level up. Like you increase the satisfaction and the fulfillment of your life because you burst through these barriers that feel like they are holding you back. So let me show you this through those three examples. And as mentioned, like these were literally breakthroughs that happened in just an initial Zoom conversation between each of these three folks individually and myself. The first 30-minute breakthrough. And disclaimer here, like, of course, I've changed any names if I mention them or any obvious like identity details just for confidentiality reasons. The first 30-minute breakthrough that was a woman, mother of four, just amazing mother. already a best-selling author and wanting to move forward with writing her second book. So where she was kind of feeling stuck, just to break it down for you, and I have a feeling this will resonate with some folks. She has a corporate job, and her youngest child is actually in their last year of high school. So she was just really wanting to soak up as much time with him as possible. But she's also busy managing the finances of her home and of her other children's college. Her husband is traveling a lot for work. And so often the normal, like day to day life, keeping the household running, it falls on her plate. She was feeling stuck because she knows that she's ready to write the book and she's being called to write the book. But when the heck is she actually supposed to have time to dedicate to it on top of all of the other things, right? Like, and I think that's the part we can all relate. We all have these passions, or we have these wants, or we have like these things that we want to pursue, but life is just so busy that we feel stuck. And we're not sure if we should just drop the dream to keep the household running, or if we should drop everything else and just go all in on our dreams. Well, in this conversation, the real breakthrough, it happened when we were able to pinpoint that the resistance she was feeling about starting this book actually, and hang in there because this is where the magic happens. It actually had nothing to do with being so busy with all of the other life responsibilities. The real reason, she had like this deep internal concern that if she started working on the book that her husband would actually like feel or be left out, or even like this fear of leaving him behind during the process, and that disconnection and distance in her marriage would grow. It was beautiful. And it was like such a gift just to see her come to that realization, just the realization that a fear of disconnection was at the heart of the resistance. And then also, equally, like how freeing to know that it wasn't all of these other things. And I think that that's the thing about a breakthrough is that when you know, like you definitely know, um, at least I guess for me, it feels like storm clouds literally clear above my heads, and like the clouds just open up with like possibility and clarity again. It's kind of what a breakthrough feels like for me. I do think that it feels this way just because it's almost like then you actually know what you just gain this clarity on what you're actually trying to solve. And then it feels good to know that you can actually put your efforts towards the right problem. So, because we uncovered the root of the underlying, like the center of the life obstacle, now we can actually like form a plan to address it, right? So, in this case with her, we brainstormed and we walked away with several ways that she could actually include her husband in the process of the book writing, and how he would end up playing such a vital role in all of it. Like, definitely not a back seat or a left behind kind of thing. So we came up with a plan, and she had her accountability measures in place, and boom, literally 1 week later, the outline to her second book was completed, and the hubs was like all about it and like so excited for just the next chapter of their marriage and of her personal growth and just of this thriving connection, while she was able to and will be able to passionately pursue her dreams. It was so good. And I'm just so proud of her. And I can't wait to see her produce her second bestseller. All right. If she's listening, she knows I'm talking to her. All right. So, breakthrough number two. Um, this beautiful soul, it's just so brilliant and so hungry, I would say, to just do the best that she can at whatever she's doing. Huge heart. Um, Single, typical kind of workaholic. And yet she was feeling just the pressures of wanting an intimate relationship, but then also feeling too exhausted after the days work to actually like go and put herself out there. Part of her struggle is that she wants to keep succeeding and doing well at work. She wants to keep climbing that ladder. And she's the person that people depend on and she thrives on that. And to some extent, like she kind of feels like she doesn't have much else going on personally. So she may as well answer the after work call anyway. So, her breakthrough it really resided in just, like, the cold, hard reality check that until she actually creates space in her life for an intimate relationship to be able to start and grow and develop, that she's right, she won't have time or energy for that relationship she longs for. And that just simply goes back to and starts with better work-life boundaries. And sometimes that is easier said than done. So just when we broke it down for her specific situation and what it would look like and feel like to actually start saying no to some work activities, that she could do that while still being able to keep her work yeses focused on those high value career progression type of activity. So she immediately started seeing where and it's just like those clouds go away or those shackles unlock. It's almost immediate when you have these breakthroughs. She immediately just started seeing where there could be space for a personal life to flourish and in a really raw, beautiful moment of possibility, like, she felt moved enough to share with me, and, I love this. I actually am totally quoting this. She said, "This unlocked more for me in 26 minutes with you than in years of therapy. Thank you." Ah! It was really cool, guys. It was really cool. Like, just watching and getting to be a part of, like, that shift that can occur when you literally go from point A up and over that big barrier that was standing in your way, and you can finally get to point B feeling prepared and ready to just go for the rest of your goals and your sights. So cool. So cool. Okay, breakthrough number 3. Um, it was another wonderful just I feel so lucky this woman was willing to share her story so vulnerably, and then we got to connect so deeply about her next life move too, similar to my own story. So she's been in a high profile corporate role, and she just knows she's supposed to be doing something else. We joked, it was like, she just darn well knows that she's out of alignment with her assignment, which is from something that Jamie Kern Lima has shared. She just knows she's out of alignment with her assignment. Part of her struggle, though, is like many of us, right? She has bills to pay and she can't just up and quit a job because she feels like it. Well, this breakthrough I know that there were a few things that really unlocked for her, but I think like the biggest movement maker was just how beautifully all of those pieces and those various elements were intricately like woven into the conversation and they all had a place and I hear myself right now kind of talking in code a little bit. So just for instance trying to give some specific details, she had been wrestling with how much she had noticed this decision whether to leave or not to leave, just how much it was tearing her up inside, like physically not sleeping, carrying an immense amount of stress, so much so that her friends and family kind of were starting to tell her, "Hey, you probably need to step away." She recognized like what a stronghold fear has had on her over these last several months and that she's just flat out felt paralyzed until our conversation. And our conversation, it included an exchange of my own story of what I absolutely included in the book that I co-authored with Fit Press Publishing, which is releasing the first week of November. Go get your copy, The Joyful Entrepreneur. Okay. But in that chapter, I busted the myth that quitting is failure. And I shared that quitting for me which was things like quitting the worldly pursuit of titles, quitting the persistence of all of the expectations that society puts on us, um, quitting the comfort of a corporate box that I knew very well. That for me, quitting, and if you were paying attention, it wasn't just my job, but the quitting is freedom. And I will tell you that freedom, it comes from an obedient surrender. And she understood exactly what I was saying. And every bit of my story that I shared with her on that day, she was holding on to. And we hung up the call right at the 30-minute mark because we both had additional meetings to jump into and moved on with the day, right? And I kid you not, the most beautiful text message came through just a few hours later that she had officially given her resignation. And it's like, oh, it's like it moves through my body like with chills, and I just feel it so deeply, that she too just felt she needed to step into surrender, and as she did so, that the shackles of fear and failure just fell to the ground. Ah, it was so awesome and so spirit led and so divinely held, and I'm just grateful that our paths have crossed, and I know that we're not done yet. So yeah. So what is your next breakthrough going to take? Like, will you let it be a conversation that you have with a close friend? Will you engage the expertise of a coach or other resources? Will you get really comfortable in stillness so that you can hear the singing of your intuition come through? Like, whatever it is, your breakthrough's waiting for you. And I would say that's absolutely part of the unjuggle summary, or maybe not part, that is the unjuggle summary for today. So just that if you have a desire resting on your heart or in your mind or in your soul, that it's there for you for a reason, and you're going to get to it and you're going to get through it if you really want to. And if you're willing to seek the clarity through a breakthrough. So stick with it. You are so capable. You are so worthy. And your breakthrough is waiting for you. And if you happen to be waiting for someone to extend a helping hand, to help you have and guide and walk through that breakthrough. Like, here I am, okay? Would you book your call with me already? I'm right here. Like, let's explore what even just one session of coaching could unlock for you. Like, maybe it's your next breakthrough. So visit the website, brittanytalinci.com, or check out the show notes. I'll always get it linked in there, and we'll get you scheduled today. I'm so excited for these breakthroughs, and I cannot wait for what else is called into and through all of this. So just thinking of you always. Thank you so much for being here. If this resonated with you, or if you're excited about a breakthrough too, leave a review. It does really matter. It means a lot to me. I love knowing that you're out there, that you're listening, and that this is resonating. And if you need something different too, let me know that too, so that I can show up for you. So until next time, bye.
Hey, thanks for listening to today's episode. It means the world to me that you're here to ride in the struggle bus with me, and that you're willing to consider different perspectives, tools, and techniques that just might provide a little bit of relief and get you one step closer to the abundance that is available and waiting for us all. I hope you take a moment to grant yourself some grace where you've been denying it, some love where you didn't realize maybe it was right in front of you, and some faith where you thought all was lost. If this episode had an impact on you, would you please share a comment with a review? I'd love to hear what landed for you, and it helps us get the word out to our fellow struggle bus riders. So please review what was impactful for you. Just know these episodes are a pure labor of love in a space where I'm growing alongside you. I'm evolving every day, and I look forward to all the ways and the things and the perspectives and opinions and choices that will change over the course of time in my own life, day to day. Until next time, just know that you are loved, you are divinely cared for, and in the struggle, the journey of this life really is beautiful. I'm glad that we're in it together. Cheers.